Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm on today with Aron Ra and Mr. Intelligent Design, and also my co-moderator, Gonna Go For It, or Peter. And Mr. Intelligent Design is going to explain his new science of intelligent design today. So let's get right to it. This will be about an hour and a half, and Mr. Intelligent Design, you have about 10 minutes to make your opening statements.
Okay, I'm going to screen share my. Okay, good morning to all of you here, and thank you for giving me a time to share to you my new science. And wait, okay. So this is the logo of the new intelligent design. New, it is not old. Okay, so this is the logo that I've made, and I am the founder, discoverer, scientist. When I say scientist, I mean a freelance scientist. Okay, of the real intelligence. The reason why I use the word real, because our science, from the time we know about science until now, we are using the old one, the fake one, the one that is not intelligence. And then I am the father. When I say father, I think I am the responsible for any information, anything that you could hear from my books, from my videos, from what I'm going to say to you today. Father, I'm responsible for everything. So whenever there got a mistake, whenever there is a mistake in any information or any science or any evidence or any explanation, it's my fault. So, and I call it the new intelligent design. And the new because there was an old one. Okay. So because I discovered the real intelligence, and I wrote 6 science books. If you could see here, I wrote peer review and intelligent design. This is This is the book about my documentary on how I made a peer review about the new intelligent design. And there are 6 science books that I've made. Okay, this book, the new intelligent design ID, turning the scientific world upside down. This is where I wrote my my new discovery. This book is what I call the holy grail of my science book. If this book is wrong, everything that you are going to hear from me are wrong. Every explanation from biology, physics, cosmology, quantum mechanics, philosophy, idealism, everything are wrong. So this book is very important for me. So if you would like to, if you have time, if you would like to read this, you can buy it in Amazon. So this is the book where I wrote the derivation, the explanation in detail, the experimentation, the explanation about the topic of intelligence. Okay. So of course, because I've been in the online debate for probably 20 years, many people are asking me, if you are really have science, why don't you peer review? Why don't you submit your manuscript for peer review? I did it. I think I did it. The big difference between me and other scientists is that I documented my peer review, because I think I may forget this information. So I documented them and wrote the science book here. It's called Peer Review and Intelligent Design. You will see how we communicate. For example, Science Journal, Nature, other science journal. We communicated through emails. I included those emails, but I erased the names because they are personal. Okay. So this one is peer review and intelligent design. So I must submit my peer review. But sad to say, those peer reviewers did not understand my science. Okay.
Edgar, can I jump in quickly? You only have 10 minutes. I don't think you should waste that on promoting your books, but telling us what your findings are. Because that's what we're going to discuss, and not the books you wrote.
Okay, thank you. So I'm getting it. I'm coming right now. Okay. So the difference between the old ID and the new ID is the new ID. The old ID is being sponsored. This is sponsored Discovery Institute, and because they started from the complex, from Darwin, and from Pehe and Mayer, and maybe you can see this one. This one is there, and the new one is I get it from reality, from science. I do it by myself. So I just use intelligence. I never use irreducible complexity. I never use complex. I never use information. Okay. So this is the main of my science. Intelligence is a very difficult concept. But why I share to you intelligence? Because intelligence pinpoints non-intelligence. So if we understand intelligence, then we can know also non-intelligence. And then if we know about intelligence, then we can pinpoint intelligence. So we can pinpoint two phenomena, non-intelligence and intelligence. By knowing these two, intelligence help us nail the classification method in science. We can now classify any X in the entire universe, in the entire existence, through this process. Non-intelligence to intelligence, because they are opposite, extreme opposite. So intelligence nails the topic of origin or cause and effect or source. So in other words, whenever we would like to study the origin of the universe, the origin of species, the origin of life, the origin of anything, we can use intelligence, because the intelligence will help us to know what is non-intelligence and intelligence. So intelligence is the almighty forensic study in science and reality. Yeah, because we are going now to use which one is part of reality, which one is part of intelligence, which one is not intelligent. So in other words, it predicts that if intelligence is correct, it predicts that there must be an intelligent agent. So if that agent uses intelligence, then this is a pattern. If this agent never is intelligent, there's also a pattern. Okay. So intelligence is both empirical. So when I made this one I think you need to skip. You need to skip this one. I made an experiment for intelligence. So this is the new definition of intelligence that should be used in science. This is the holy grail of my discovery. Intelligence is the principle of reinforcing an act to survive, to exist. You can read it. So this is where science must start, from this topic. Okay. So maybe I thought maybe it's very hard for you to understand, but in my experiment, when I made an experiment for intelligence, I found out that intelligence is the principle of reinforcing an act to survive, to exist, and to succeed in a certain degree of importance, and it always acts on a symmetrical phenomenon. So when you use this definition, explanation of intelligence, then you can have what I call, you can answer the question of origin, cause and effect. You can use that classification in science. You can use that in intelligence. You can use it for non-intelligence. You can use this one. So one example, first I will give you here. For example, if you are going to use intelligence, I also discovered the limit of rates of intelligence. Okay, so this is the limit I discovered. Probability, and also I also discovered the principle of intelligence, and I also So when you apply that intelligence to biology, I said to Jackson that biology must change. Biology must change.
Edgar, you have about a minute left.
Okay, so it's finished. It's already finished. Okay. Okay, it's already finished. Okay. Any more question?
So could you didn't really give us a a look into your view on intelligent design, could you please give us some evidence of your view on intelligent design?
Let me do what I can with this. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. I listened to 10 minutes of news. Mine is the real news. So we have the scientific equivalent of Donald Trump. What, I'm trying to look up the reviews on your book here. It doesn't look like anybody's reviewed it yet. I'm about that, and I'm not seeing anything that says that anybody's ever purchased one of these. It'll be a moment. What indication is it? Well, no, here's my first question. You said that yours is the new intelligent design, that there was an old intelligent design, and yours replaces that one. What was wrong with the old one?
That is a good question. Okay, the old one actually, when the old one has 71 definitions. Okay, I will show you one of my slides to show to you. Okay.
The old one has 71 definitions.
The old one has 71 definition.
Let's
and
just
they are
go
talking
with the
about
one that they advertised, because there was one definition that was published and publicized in the Kitzmiller versus Dover trial, that was published and publicized in their textbook of pandas and people. There was one definition that's commonly associated with intelligent design, and that's the one that the intelligent design movement publishes themselves. So let's not worry about any others that might be small deviants or paraphrases. Let's just go with the one definition that they published.
Actually, Aron Ra didn't have. They use irreducible complexity.
Yeah, but that's not a definition. That's not a definition.
No, I mean, when the old intelligent design fought in the Dover trial, even Michael Behe, even the scientists that are supporting the old intelligent design didn't know how to define intelligence. So that's why when the old intelligent design fought in the Dover trial, they use this one. They use irreducible complexity. Okay, and Behe in his book said that the reason why he used irreducible complexity because he copied that from Darwin, when Darwin talked about the eyes as complex organ. So now, if you are going to study the old intelligent design, they didn't use intelligence. They just used complex, irreducible complexity, and now Stephen Mayer used information in one of his book. So in other words, the problem here in our science about intelligence is that, okay, I show you. This person that I'm showing you in my screen, he was the one who researched the 71 definition of intelligence. And if you are going to click this video in YouTube, this person is Marcus Hutter. I actually contacted him and I wrote my science book. He was the one who said that intelligence is a very difficult concept. In other words, those best thinkers, scientists in our time who actually studying the topic of intelligence, they were the one who raised up their two hands and said, no, we cannot nail intelligence because we don't know. And the reason why they didn't know this intelligence because they are using in the wrong reality. They are using the wrong basis. For example, in this topic of the old one, Michael Behe used the basis of Darwin, complex. But remember, the word complex has an opposite name, opposite word, simple. Okay, wait. Simple is opposite of complex, and complex is opposite of simple. So they are talking two different phenomena. But when Behe used Darwin's complex idea, so he used the word irreducible complexity. So was Behe equating irreducible complexity as intelligence? Probably yes. So in other words, this one is wrong, totally wrong. But Darwin was wrong.
In other words, what is wrong?
Okay. The reason why they were wrong because they were talking about non-intelligence.
Who was?
Those people who are defining intelligence.
So the intelligent design movement, Michael Behe, Johnson, and all those others, they were talking about non-intelligent design?
No, not only them, but also those people who are you are.
If you say not only them, you mean but them is included. They were talking about non-intelligence?
Yes.
So when they say intelligent design, they mean unintelligent design?
Yes. They are using the word intelligent design, but they never use the word intelligence.
They never used the word intelligence when they promoted intelligent design.
Correct. You can see here in my...
You mean that in all the books that each of these people have written, they never used the word, none of them ever used the word intelligence when describing intelligent design?
Maybe they use the word intelligence, but they define it. But their definition is not the way. It's not.
Okay, so what is their definition?
They don't have. They don't have definition of intelligence.
Well, how do you know their definition is different if they don't have a definition?
No, they are using the mainstream definition of 71 definition of intelligence. They didn't define their. They didn't define it. We have 71 definition of intelligence now. Aron Ra.
Okay, so we have 71 definitions of intelligence, and the intelligent design movement also has 71 different definitions of intelligent design.
Maybe they are using one of that definition, but those 71 definitions.
71. When you say that they have 71 different definitions, are you talking about the definition or just a random dictionary definition of intelligence, or are you talking about the Discovery Institute's definition of intelligent design?
First, I have said that. What I already said to you that the Discovery Institute never have any definition of intelligence.
The Discovery Institute did not define intelligence.
Did not define intelligence, but they are using the word intelligence. For example, they are using intelligent design, but they don't define.
So if I were to look it up on Google right now, I wouldn't immediately pull up the definition of intelligence.
They don't have.
What? So there's not one. We can't just Google it.
Yeah, but if you are going to research this topic, because one person I'm showing here in my screen, this person is Marcus Hutter, and one more. There are two. The two had researched the definition of intelligence, and they had come up with 70. And after that, they summarized it and they made one definition. They saw everything total 71 definition. So if you are going to study them one by one, they are just talking about non-intelligence. So in other words, they're talking about, in other words, they don't talk intelligence. They're just non-intelligence, or simply natural. I call it natural process, natural phenomenon. So that's why if you apply this definition to reality, to biology basics, then you will simply conclude that everything are non-intelligence, because for them intelligence is non-intelligence are the same. That is why I told you and many people that I discovered real intelligence, because real intelligence is different from the old fact.
So you discovered. All right. So you've got the real intelligent design, whereas the Discovery Institute has the fake intelligent design.
Yeah, the wrong one.
And the reason that they have the wrong one, and the reason that theirs is wrong is because they argue for irreducible complexity.
Yeah, because
that makes it wrong.
Yeah, because when you define intelligence, you will never define intelligence as complex, right?
I will never define intelligence as complex.
Do you define intelligence as complex?
Well, not as that single word, no.
Right, but Behe had
I would say that intelligence is complex, but it's not. It's not necessarily just that word. It would be other words, but a complex would be included very often. So I'm having a little trouble. You're saying that intelligence is not complex?
Well, it depends on the intelligence. It depends on the agent. If you're an intelligent agent, everything for you is not complex.
If you're an intelligent agent, you might be complex and you might not be complex?
No, I mean, what I said is that if you're an intelligent agent, and you are going to use intelligence, and everything and every X that you are going to do, then everything is not complex. It's simple. Because if it's complex, then it's not intelligence.
Okay, so how do we identify, since it may or may not be complex, then complexity doesn't mean anything in this design, then how do we identify whether there's intelligence?
Good question. That's why I showed you my last okay. This is the right one. This is the right definition. This is the correct definition of intelligence. I read it again. Intelligence is the principle of reinforcing an act to survive, to exist, and to succeed in a certain degree of importance, and it always acts on a symmetrical phenomenon. This is the one that nailed the topic.
How does this? So you made up this definition, right? And you're saying that yours what?
Before I made that, because I have told you a while ago, I have 6 science books, okay, and I told you I detailed them.
What?
I have 6 science books, and I detailed this explanation in one of my science books. So since it is my first time, it is our first time.
Are you saying that you wrote 6 science books?
Yes, of course. I publish in Amazon.
Okay. Did they all do as well as the one that you're peddling now?
Well, I don't know, but I just don't care. My responsibility is to share to the world and publish it to science. But I don't care if they. I don't care. For them,
if your responsibility is to share it to the world, then you should probably change that policy of not caring. Because when I look at your peer review in intelligent design, you've had no reviews whatsoever. It's zero.
I don't care of the reviews because you know. For me, yeah, for me, I don't care about the review because
well, then you're not fulfilling your responsibility to get the truth out to the world. So when you talk about peer review, for example, how are you achieving that?
What do you mean by I don't get you? Okay, I don't get.
So I mean, what is the purpose of peer review? Can you explain that?
Well, peer review in science actually is you are going to submit your work to other fellow scientists so that they could agree or not agree. But in peer review, the two must understand the topic.
Right.
The one who submit and the one who check. But in my case, I am the only one who understands intelligence, and the peer reviewer doesn't understand intelligence.
How are you the only one who understands intelligence? Well, you're not giving me the peer review. There was a reason for peer review, right? You accept that,
right? Of course, yes. I accept that.
Okay.
Of course, I accept. So I accept that.
That's where other people who understand what you're saying, they understand your argument, they understand what you're presenting, and
no, sorry, we don't understand. The very topic of intelligence itself. Okay, I repeat. The very topic of intelligence itself, since it was mass for almost 2,000 years from the time we know about science, the very topic of intelligence itself was a very difficult topic for them.
Regardless whether it was difficult for, say, 2,000 years ago, now you're going to participate in the peer review thing. You're going to tell everybody that all their science is fake science and that all their ideas of intelligence are all wrong and you've got it right. And so we have people who understand the argument who are then going to publish in science journals that they've read your stuff. And obviously this wouldn't be done through a book, fortunately, that nobody has apparently read. You would be doing this through peer-reviewed journals, and then other people would be commenting on the peer-reviewed journals and such. So which journals were you published in? Other than your book. What?
No, wait. I submitted my manuscript. My manuscript in, I think, 7 science journals. Okay.
It's been published? It's been published in 7?
No,
Which ones
not
was it
published.
published in?
Not published, because the peer reviewers.
It's not been published in anything?
No.
Okay, so you're talking about everybody who really knows this has refused to even acknowledge you because you haven't gotten published in anything.
Of course, yes.
Okay, so everybody who knows this says this guy doesn't know. And so we're not going to
No.
publish him.
Well, wait. My topic
Have
is
you
intelligence.
convinced anyone ever?
Okay.
That's a yes or no question.
Convince what?
Have you convinced any scientist ever to say that, you know what, the way we were doing it was wrong, and the way we did peer review is wrong, the way we did intelligent design is wrong, Mr. Intelligent Design got it right? Can we read those words from any scientist ever?
Well, once if you are going to study, if you are going to read one,
That's
well,
a yes
now,
or no question.
No. But if you are going to
there's
see,
not what you're telling me. I just want to be clear. There's absolutely not one single scientist or intelligent design theorist anywhere in the world who says that you got anything right.
because didn't know yet
that's
my
a yes.
discovery.
There is not one person who knows
Not
the
one
science
person, yes.
and who knows
Yes.
intelligent design, which is a completely different field, but neither camp, no one anywhere says you got anything right.
Because didn't know it, yes. Because didn't know.
That's nobody will agree that you got anything right. So what makes you think you got anything right?
Because I have an experiment.
Oh, good.
I have
We've got an experiment. So we have a way that we can peer review this right now. You tell us, tell us what the experiment is. Tell me about this experiment so we can duplicate this.
Okay. So I will screen share to you.
Mr. Wheat.
Present.
Okay. This is my. Can you see my screen share, my slide?
Yep.
Okay. This is so this is the experiment for intelligence that I have conducted in my science book. Okay. I remember that I'm experimenting the topic of intelligence, a concept or a principle that the human being we normally use for. Okay. So I prepared a wooden box and weight of egg, a raw egg, 6 to 8 grams. And I dropped the egg to a tissue paper, 2 sheets at a time. And then there are 4 sheets, 1 try, 2nd try, 3rd try. And then there are failure, there are success. And then 9 sheets. Okay. So here. Okay. So I made a success here. So after this, I found out that because when you drop an egg to a tissue paper, an egg is like a problem, 6 to 8 grams, and you're trying to solve it with 9 sheets, 6 to 8 solution. So I found out that when you have a problem solution in my experiment, that the word problem and solution is not intelligence. Or success is not intelligence. It is simply non-intelligence. Do you understand me? I repeat.
Absolutely. How was dropping an egg into such that you go through the sheets and sometimes not? How does that imply intelligence of anything?
Good question. Okay. I said a while ago that I'm testing a concept that we human normally use. Okay. We normally use because there was a connotation in our science, in our reality, that intelligence is whenever you have a success in any event that you are going to do, people will call you our intelligence. Okay. So
okay, maybe we just need to figure out.
I don't know. I repeat. I am testing a concept, a principle. Okay.
And how does this dropping of eggs imply intelligence?
The dropping of eggs by using many tries, we are going to have, because I just did it in my book, but I'm going to share to you here. There are, I think probably I made 6 tries. So if you are going to make a first try, for example, here in my 2 sheet, there will failure. If I'm going to drop the 68 gram to the tissue paper, the tissue paper will break. So you will never achieve intelligence here.
Can I jump in, Edgar?
Okay.
Yes. The question was how does it demonstrate intelligence? And the question wasn't what did you do? So not repeating the experiment. The question was how does the experiment demonstrate intelligence? Can you address that?
No,
because
I already addressed. I told you that I am testing intelligence as a concept. Do you understand me?
Okay. How are you testing that concept?
Yeah. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No.
I am okay. So we have a connotation in RK. When I said intelligence as a concept, because we base my experiment was based on a human's way of dealing things. That's how we interpret reality. We base our human experience. We call it empirical evidence. So I'm trying to test intelligence as a concept by dropping an egg. So if you drop an egg
how does dropping an egg test the intelligence concept?
Yeah, by dropping an egg, we can arrive at success. Because we can also arrive at failure.
Imply intelligence.
No, success. Yes, there are part that success is part of intelligence, but there also a part that success is part of natural, non-intelligence.
Okay.
Can I
just let me discuss this because it's obviously going nowhere.
Okay.
Can I simplify it, maybe, Mr. Intelligence? Because if the goal of the experiment is to smash an egg, then the outcome is entirely different, and it's still a success. So now we have a broken egg, which is a success, or an egg that stays intact, which is a success. But you still haven't demonstrated how that implies intelligence, because it would imply intelligence both ways.
You know, this is one of the reason why. Okay, I will repeat again. Okay, I will repeat again.
No, don't repeat again. Just
no, because
explain.
Okay, Mr. Design.
Okay.
Okay, so the question that was posed to you twice now has been, how does your experiment, not what it is, but how does your experiment demonstrate intelligence? If we were to present you with a proposition that, for example, mammals or humans are tetrapods, then we could show demonstrably that humans are tetrapods by...
That's kind of where I was about to go.
Yeah, by comparing characteristics of us with other... What we define as tetrapods. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So, Mr. Intelligent Design,
yes,
you are proposing an idea that you have an alternate explanation for the biodiversity of species, right?
Right, of course, yes.
Okay, so then you would be able to answer the phylogeny challenge then?
Yes, of course, I can.
Okay, good. Then, do you know what the phylogeny challenge is?
Phylogeny?
Yes. Do you know what the phylogeny challenge is?
Challenge. Sorry, phylogeny challenge. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I missed that. Can you
said yes, of course, you could answer that, but you don't know what it is. Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay.
If intelligent design has any truth to it at all, excuse me, if creationism, because that's what we're talking about, has any truth to it at all, and the theory of evolution is fundamentally mistaken, then would you agree that there's some levels in a taxonomic cladogram that you would say are still valid, that there are some species that are still derived from other species? It's just that you get to a certain place where there's uniquely created kinds, and then from them you have these new baramins, if you will, these new species that are derived from that. Would you accept that that's true, or are you proposing something different?
No, it's not true. I have my own. If the definition of intelligence is equals to non-intelligent, I will accept that explanation.
But it
But
has
since-
nothing to do with intelligence at all.
No, it has.
Okay.
It has.
No,
because
not at all.
Wait,
Regardless, okay, you are proposing an alternate to evolution, right?
Yes, the biological interrelation.
Okay.
Okay.
So regardless whether your alternate concept has anything to do with intelligence or not, you are still going to propose that there are certain things about evolution that are not true, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So what is it that you propose for intelligent design that would counter what evolution teaches?
Well, remember, the one that I'm going to propose, the one that could replace the biological evolution, is I call it biological interrelation, because in biological interrelation, biological interrelation.
Interrelation.
Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
No, I can't at the moment, but
Okay, so I call it biological interrelation because in biological interrelation, I use intelligence. The basis
okay.
of
Let me see if I can put this to you another way.
Okay.
Okay, so thing is the systematic classification of life forms, right? Watching the derivation of new phenotypes from ancestral groups. Now, would you agree that, like, genetic tests, for example, show that all of the world's domestic dogs, all the different, hundreds of breeds that are recognized by the American Kennel Club, that all of these were derived from 4 genetic lineages originally descending out of Asiatic wolves? Would you agree that that is correct?
Yeah, probably yes. Dog came from dogs. Yes.
Probably. Okay, so now you understand that that is an evolutionary process,
No.
right?
No.
No. Okay, so what makes the derivation of new phenotypes from common ancestors not evolution?
Well, because the reason why evolution doesn't work in reality, because evolution never.
So you're saying that all of these hundreds of that you agreed, all of these hundreds of breeds of dogs were derived on 4 genetic lineages out of Asiatic wolves, but while you agree that that happened, you also say that it doesn't work.
It is not evolution. It is interrelation.
How is it not? Do you know what evolution is? Do you know what evolution is?
Yes.
Let's hear it. What is evolution?
Evolution is the change of frequency allele, or simply change with time.
And so you're saying that these allele frequencies in Asiatic wolves did not change over time to produce hundreds of new breeds of domestic dogs.
They just interrelated. They don't evolve.
Okay.
Because
so was there a change in their allele frequencies in this process?
Can you repeat again? Can you repeat again, please?
Your definition is correct. That evolution. Okay. Your definition is correct.
You're kind of broke up there. Yeah, you kind of broke up a little bit.
Okay, let me say it again. Is there a problem with the audio right now?
Nope. Sounds fine.
Okay, good. So, Mr. Intelligent Design.
Yes.
You said that evolution is a change in allele frequencies over time, and that is correct. Another way to phrase this, and I prefer this way, is that evolution is descent with inherent genetic modification. Would you agree that that is also correct?
But that is not evolution. That's correct.
It's a yes or no question.
No.
It should be yes, or it should be no.
Because okay.
So these breeds of dogs were not derived from Asiatic wolves as you originally said they were.
I've never said that, but probably yes. But it is not evolution.
Actually, earlier I said, would you agree that that is true? And you said that is true. So you're now changing it to say
no. It is true.
Dogs.
Wait a second. It is true based on an interrelation, but not based on evolution.
Okay. Before we get into what the interrelation is it? Do you agree that these hundreds of breeds of dogs were evidently derived from 4 genetic lineages out of Asiatic wolves. Is that a true statement?
Well, first, I never test that. Yet, assuming that it is true, but it is not
Regardless whether
evolution.
you've tested it or not, do you agree that that is the case? That domestic dogs were derived from Asiatic wolves?
For argument's sake, let us simply say
Okay,
yes. But that
regardless
is
of
not,
it, for argument's sake or not, is it a reality? Domestic dog breeds were derived from Asiatic wolves, yes or no?
yeah, yes.
Okay.
I would say
So
yes.
there was, would
But
you
not
agree
evolution.
that the
but not
genetics of domestic dogs is discernibly different from that of Asiatic wolves?
Yes.
Okay, so the domestic dogs descended from Asiatic wolves, correct?
Interrelated, yes.
Yeah, but regardless whether you want to use the word interrelated or not, my statement's still correct. They are still descended from Asiatic wolves.
But that is that
That's
evolution.
answering the
Yeah,
question again.
agree. But that's not
Okay.
Okay.
So there was a change in their allele frequencies over time, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's what evolution is, and that's what that was.
No,
So
it is not.
you agree then that by definition, by both of the definitions I just gave you, both of which are correct in the evolution of domestic dogs?
No, not. It is wrong. It is no.
Okay, so
It is not
so you're saying then that domestic dog breeds were not descended from Asiatic wolves?
Well, I said they varies. There are variation of the dog. I understand that, and I call
so
that interrelation,
the
not
domestic
evolution.
dog, the domestic dog is or is not descended from Asiatic wolves?
Well, I thought I never test that, but assuming for
Yeah
argument
or
is
no?
yes.
Can I step in for a
Regardless
moment?
whether-
Okay. Wait. Yeah, because I never test that. But
Can I-
assuming
Okay. But regardless whether
Okay.
you've tested it, do you accept the data that indicates that the peer-reviewed genetic tests that have already been determined by a number of different means, do you accept that that is true, that domestic dog breeds have been derived from Asiatic wolves?
yeah, but
Right?
but that is
So
not
that is a yes.
okay.
You accept domestic dogs have been derived from
assuming that
Asiatic
they're
wolves.
right. Okay, yes. Okay, I agree. Okay, I agree. Assuming that they're
Okay.
right. Okay.
You're going to assume that they're right. Is there an alternative?
Alternative one explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the explanation is interrelation, not evolution.
Okay, so why don't you tell me what interrelation is? And you understand that if it is true that the domestic
Okay.
dog breeds descended from Asiatic wolves, that they descended with an allele frequency change, and that it was a descent with inherent genetic modification, both of the definitions of biological evolution. You understand that those both apply, right?
Yes, but you know,
Okay, so you
there are,
tell me-
okay, I understand. Okay, I understand that. No, okay, you go.
Can I step
Tell
in for a
me-
moment? Should we
Yeah.
go to the full hour and a half, or do you want to stop at an hour, which is in about 15 minutes?
I honestly can't imagine this going an hour and a half.
Okay, so we'll
I don't
cut it
know.
at an hour.
I don't know how much nothing you can put in an hour and a half.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So we have about 14 minutes then.
Yeah. So, Mr. Intelligent Design,
Yes.
you have to accept that by definition, all of these hundreds of dog breeds, at a minimum, were derived from Asiatic wolves processes. Do you accept this?
Yeah, for argument's sake, yeah,
Okay,
accept yes.
So when you said that evolution
Okay.
didn't work, example of where evolution did work.
It doesn't work. No, Aaron, it
Right,
doesn't
but-
work.
You just
Evolution-
admitted that it did.
No, the reason why you
Okay,
just,
Let me go
that's
back
why-
over it again. Did
No.
the domestic dog breeds come from Asiatic wolves? Yes or no?
Assuming that yes, okay.
Did come from domestic. Now you realize that there is a genetic difference, and so this is
Yeah, I
a
understand.
descent
There's
with inherent
difference.
genetic modification. Yes.
Yes, I understand. Yes,
Okay.
I
And it
understand.
was a change in allele frequencies over time. Yes.
With intelligence. Yes.
Regardless
see-
whether intelligence was included,
No,
because I'll grant, that
no,
with the derivation of domestic dogs, we did use artificial selection, whereas other derivations come from natural selection, in which Intelligence would not be necessary, but
no, wait, Aron Ra, please. We are talking about life in biology, okay? You need to remember, you need to remember that we are talking about life in biology. And
right. I never forgot that.
And whenever you talk about life in biology, you must also talk about protecting life in biology.
Whenever I'm talking about life in biology, I must also talk about life in biology.
Protect. There is a protection of life in biology.
Of life in biology?
You see, you have never seen the whole picture. You see, this is our first time. Maybe if you'll give me more time, maybe today is only for one and a half hours.
Well, I can't give you too much more time because I keep asking you the same yes or no question and you keep flip-flopping on your answer.
No, because
so you need to be consistent.
I have my model. No, I have my model.
What? No, I don't think you do. I honestly don't think you do. So you accept that dogs, with intelligence, because it was artificial selection, you accept that dogs evolved, that these were evolutionary processes, right, from Asiatic wolves. Now we can also
no, not evolved, interrelated.
It's not evolution then if it meets all the definitions.
Can I jump in just real quick, because maybe we could ask a different question. If there is intelligent design, can you name at least one species that was at the base of this?
That's what I was going to next.
Okay,
that's what I was going to next.
Yes.
Problem is that he cannot admit it happens. He knows that it does, but he can't admit it because it undermines everything that he's arguing for. He's already admitted.
I have my model. Okay. Remember this.
You really don't have a model.
No,
according to your model, to your model, how did these dog breeds, different varieties of foxes or different, Borofogines, older dogs that weren't derived by artificial selection, that were obviously derived by natural selection, how did any of these canids, wild or domestic, come about?
I've been saying to you that they just came from through interrelation, biological interrelation.
What is interrelation?
You see, I think that is the first question that you must ask me, because I always answer you interrelation. So you never ask me. So I have to explain to you my side. Okay. I had to establish
first whether you accept reality.
Okay. No, you have two different reality. I am using. Yeah, because your reality.
I think you know what reality is.
Of course I can, because I discovered intelligence. So I know reality better.
I don't think you have discovered intelligence. That's yet to happen.
10 minutes, guys.
But let's hear that. How did you discover intelligence?
I discovered intelligence by going to reality.
By going into reality, which is obviously not familiar territory for you.
No, because that's why I've told to Jackson a while ago that this topic.
How did you go into reality?
By making an experiment. I can make more experiments to you.
Took you into reality?
The one I gave you, the egg, the tissue and paper.
So you understand that? Into the box, and this brought you into reality.
The topic of intelligence.
That you dropped an egg into the box, and that brought you into reality?
Of intelligence.
It brought you into the reality of intelligence. Do you realize that doesn't explain where all these different lineages of canids come from, right? Let me broaden this out for you.
Okay.
Let me broaden this out for you. Genetic tests, the same genetic test that identified that all of these domestic dog breeds were derived from Asiatic wolves, also links that seals and sea lions are descended from an early stage of bears, and that bears are closely related to dogs. And we also have fossils of literal bear dogs where they're undifferentiated, so it's both a bear and a dog at the same time. Still walks plantigrade, and has a long tail. It looks like a giant wolverine, but it's a combination of a bear and dog before dogs went integrate in bears. Okay, do you understand all that so far?
I understand that, but that they are not evolution.
Okay. So do you accept The
Okay.
genetic lineage that traced beyond the domestic dogs coming from Asiatic wolves, and traced that there are also other dogs that were not derived from Asiatic wolves that are actually older than Asiatic wolves, and like Hyen Pictus, the African painted wild dog, and a handful of other fossil dogs like the bone crusher dogs from the Pleistocene and so forth. So you accept that these genetic lineages include all of these other dogs and bears and seals.
They are probably, because we have the same
Right.
life. So they're probably,
Okay,
we
so
call
you
it
accept that there is a genetic lineage there, yes?
genetics similarities. Okay. I don't say
Genetic
lineage.
lineage. Can you
Similarities.
explain the genetic similarities any other way?
Yeah, because for example, they have eyes, we have eyes. You see, we're talking
about genetics now.
Okay.
So you understand, if you do a genetic test for paternity, it'll distinguish your genes from a potential other father, if you're testing for that sort of thing. The same, you can also run this genetic lineage for different breeds of dogs out of Asiatic wolves. Then you can extend that again to isolate for seals out of bears and bears out of dogs and so forth. You understand that, right?
I understand that, but they are not evolution.
Okay. So
that's simply interrelation.
Okay, so do you accept, yes or no, the genetic lineage from all other canids, from also bears and seals included?
Yeah, there are similar.
So yes,
I told you there are similarities, yes, but
I'm not just talking about similarities. We're talking about something specific here, not just similarities, but actually showing a derivation, actually showing a genetic ancestry.
No.
That you have ERVs and other.
It's wrong.
What?
It's wrong. And there are no such kind of.
So you do not accept that other species of dogs are related to domestic dogs or wolves. You're saying that those species of dogs are uniquely different.
What I said, based on interrelation.
Is that a yes or a no? Are the Borophagines and the other fossil dogs, are they related to the modern living dogs?
Related, yes.
They are related, so they do have a common ancestor. There is a lineage there. Thank you. Do you accept the genetic lineage?
Yeah, okay.
What?
Yeah, you because you are trying to conclude that the dogs has evolved from other species. Okay, then not the non-dogs. No, I don't say that.
Right now, I'm only talking about dogs. I'm talking about different.
So I agree, because interrelation says also the same thing.
5 minutes, guys.
You said what now? Say that again.
Because biological interrelation explain also the related.
So before we get into interrelation, I need a clear, distinct yes or no. Are all the dog species, from the African wild dog and the domestic dog and wolves and jackals and coyotes and the Borophagines and all of the fossil dogs and bear dogs, do you accept that those are all related?
Yes.
Okay, so they had a descent with inherent genetic modification. Yes?
No.
They're all related, but their genes never changed.
No, I mean,
change?
I define change. I have my motto.
You define change. Do you accept that their genetics changed?
No.
No.
Yes,
so you're saying they have the same genetics.
No, it changed.
It did
change, but based
so they are related,
and
their genetics did change.
Based on interrelation, yes.
Okay, but you are aware that it was descent with inherent genetic modification and that the allele frequencies changed, right?
Yeah, based on interrelation,
so
yes.
Both of the definitions of evolution apply, and you admit that the entire lineage of canids, including domestic dogs and other things that are not the same species at all, are all biologically related from a common ancestor. You accept that?
Yeah, they are related, but there's no common ancestor.
Now that you have accepted that the evolution of dogs did occur, although you don't call it that, we can now hear about your notion of interrelation. Tell me what that is.
Okay, interrelation actually is simply defined as or biological interrelation. It's interaction or changes with time with intelligence. So I always
so interrelation, by your definition, is evolution, exactly. It's exactly evolution, but with intelligence.
Because, there are more. There are more.
Okay, so, but I'm asking a yes or no question.
Yes. There are, but there are more.
Okay,
yes.
so you're saying evolution is evolution, but evolution has intelligence behind it. So what you're actually advocating is not intelligent design. You are advocating theistic evolution.
No.
No. Okay, so is there a kind of intelligence that could be involved in this? That is,
yes.
So there's, I mean, that is not immortal.
Because first we need to understand what is intelligence.
That is involved in this. Is it a singular intelligence?
You think intelligence is singular? It's only one.
There's only
it's
one.
Universal.
Okay. And can it die?
There's only one.
Can it die?
No, this is intelligence is a principle, a concept. It will never die.
Principle and a concept, but it
will never die.
Okay, so it's not like real.
It's real.
Okay, so it's not just a principle and a concept. It's real. So this intelligence,
yes.
Can it die?
No. Wait.
So we have a singular, immortal intelligence. Does it use natural means?
Yes, natural means, because you cannot
use natural means, not miraculous means. Oh, yes. Well, that's
define miraculous.
What mechanism?
Because
what mechanism does this intelligence use?
What mechanism for what?
To affect change, to affect the different lineages of evolution, to affect how the bone crusher dogs go one way and the Miacids go another way.
Okay, you are talking about biology. Okay, I call it.
I don't think I am. Not in this case. I'm not talking about biology. I'm talking about interrelation, whatever the hell that is. No, so we're talking about the intelligent designer now, right? No, how does he do it?
Wait. Let me answer. Okay. Oh well, your first question is mechanism. So if you are going to read my what I found
I'm not going to read your book. You're going to give the answer now, and you're running out of time.
Yeah, the answer is intelligent selection.
Intelligent selection. So when two animals come together and they are inclined to interbreed, this intelligence will prevent them from doing that if their combination of genes won't produce the variety that he's looking for.
Yeah, this is, you see, yes.
How does he intercede? How does he prevent them from doing this?
They have life to live.
They have life to live, whether there's a God or not. You know, so
no, whether God or not.
We agreed, or you agreed, that there is an immortal intelligence, and you said it uses natural means. So how does this intelligence use a natural means to interrupt these animals when they were going to interbreed because their product won't be what he wants? How does he intercede and stop that?
Well, remember, we're talking about life in biology. I said a while ago.
We're still talking about life in biology, and we're talking about you not answering the question. How does
I'm answering.
How does he intercede?
Can you repeat again, please?
What natural mechanism does your imaginary intelligence use to intercede to stop certain animals from interbreeding because their product won't be what he wants? And how does he inspire other ones who weren't already previously inclined to do that to get them to interbreed instead? What natural mechanism does your intelligence use?
Intelligent selection.
How does he intercede to move these things?
Because life follows intelligence. So how
no, it doesn't.
Should I? Can I have
that?
We're at the hour mark, and so is there anything that you want to add a closing remark?
If you want to continue, Aaron.
No, I have to sleep. Or maybe next time. Okay.
Maybe next time. There's not going to be a next time. You brought nothing.
No today.
You don't even understand what you don't understand. Idea what you're talking about ever at all, and that's why nobody has read your book, and that's why nobody has ever been convinced by anything you will ever say. You're done.
No, Aaron, the reason why you don't know about intelligence. Okay, so if you know about the topic of intelligence. So I think
Edgar,
it's very easy.
Edgar, can I interrupt, because this is becoming painful.
Okay.
Aron asked you several times how your intelligence makes for change, and you haven't answered that in the past 10 minutes. So we are now expecting that you will not answer that question in the coming 10 minutes. Either
No, I
you
said intelligent selection.
Yeah, I know that's not an answer
answered
to the
But
question.
that's not an answer to the question. It doesn't show us the method that is used. It shows us what the intention of the intelligence is. It doesn't show us the mechanism he uses to inflict his intention.
So the question is what mechanism? So I answered the mechanism, intelligent selection.
But that
No,
is not a mechanism.
That's not a mechanism.
For me, it's because that's what I've discovered.
If I put 3 cups, if I put 3 cups on a table,
so why?
Okay,
If I
Mr.
put
Intelligent Design. Let's imagine for a moment that you could give me that you would actually answer the question and give me the mechanism. The answer that you give, you could then describe as intelligent selection if you like, but you first have to describe what that mechanism is. Before you can label it intelligent selection, you first have to describe what it is and how it works. So how does intelligent selection work? How does this intelligence intercede with one group of animals and group another animals together? How does he do that?
So that must be your second follow-up question to me. So because I have told you I have a model and I can explain everything your question. I can explain. Yeah, I can explain.
What this intelligence does to block certain animals from interbreeding or inspire other animals to interbreed, you can't tell me what that mechanism is.
Yeah, the mechanism is intelligent selection. But
no,
how it works?
The label you've given for the non-explanation, because you haven't given an explanation. You have not described a mechanism.
But please,
you put a label to nothing. You haven't created what is the mechanism that you would then label intelligent selection. Tell me how intelligent selection works. What does he do?
Let me explain, okay? The reason why, you cannot understand because you let me explain. I have 6 science books. I told you. Okay. So that's why I can explain all your questions.
What you're telling me is that you cannot explain the mechanism. All you can do is parrot the words intelligent selection, but you can't explain what intelligent selection is. And what I'm going for, just to clarify, is you said that this intelligence uses natural means, and that means that there is a mechanism you could describe without saying the words intelligent selection. You could describe what intelligent selection is without ever mentioning the number of textbooks you've written, without ever mentioning good question. You wouldn't have to say that. You would just tell me what the mechanism is, how this thing does what it does. So tell me how it does what it does.
Okay, so we are talking about biology and we're talking about changes in species.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about what we're talking about. Just answer the question. How do you do what it does?
The mechanism is intelligent, and there are also sub-mechanisms for
how does this
intelligent design. For intelligence selection.
You said there was a natural mechanism. What is the natural mechanism that you want to call intelligent selection? Don't tell me it's intelligent selection. Tell me what intelligent selection is. What is the natural mechanism this intelligence uses to stop certain animals from interbreeding and to inspire other animals to interbreed? What is the intelligent selection process? Explain it. Okay,
intelligent selection process. Intelligent selection is whenever an innate species would like to protect its life. In my science book, there are sub-mechanisms for intelligence selection.
Don't tell me about it. So you're going to tell me that these animals have a natural, they have a natural drive to preserve their own lives, right?
Yes.
And okay, so what you're telling me is that what you're describing as a intelligent selection is really natural selection by definition.
No. because natural
Okay, so what
selection.
makes an intelligent selection? How does this intelligence stop one group of animals from interbreeding and get another group of animals to interbreed? How does it do that?
It controls the
How does it
genetics.
control?
It controls.
How does it
controls?
Does it control their genetics to make them do that?
Yeah, the way the genetics was programmed.
How does it control their genetics?
It is controlled by.
How does it control?
It's controlled about life.
What is the mechanism?
The mechanism that it controls.
How?
For example,
what is the mechanism?
Yeah, I told you intelligent selection.
What is the mechanism?
Yeah, the intelligent
By
selection
which,
is the mechanism.
what is the mechanism by which intelligent selection works?
For what? For reproduction? For change of species? For what?
For what I have repeated 25 times. How does this intelligence? You said it uses a natural mechanism. I want to know what the natural mechanism is. You're telling me it's an intelligent selection, but you won't tell me what intelligent selection is. So tell me, what is the natural mechanism that this intelligence uses to separate one group of animals and inspire another group of animals to interbreed? How does it intercede to cause them to do this? What is the natural mechanism? And don't tell me intelligent selection. Tell me what intelligent selection is.
Yeah, intelligent selection, actually, it controls.
How does it control? I'm asking for the natural mechanism.
Yeah, the mechanism.
Can I interject, because this is taking just too long.
Okay.
I'll dumb it down. I'll dumb it down for as far as I can. Mr. Intelligent Design.
Okay.
We have two animals who want to have sex.
Okay.
What else is happening besides two animals having sex?
What do you mean? I don't get the question. I didn't get that. I didn't get your question.
There is yes. Maybe it would help if you paid attention and not look at something else and listen to the question. Two animals are having sex.
Okay.
Right?
Two animals,
there's an intelligent designer who interferes. What else is happening?
No.
Besides, can I finish my question first?
Okay.
Besides two animals having sex, what else is happening? What is this intelligence doing while these two animals are having sex?
I don't get the question. What do you mean by that?
I know you don't get this question because that's.
Want to interbreed. Hold on. Let me simplify it as much as I can. There are two animals that are inclined to interbreed, and the intelligent designer does not want these two animals to interbreed because they are not the product that he wants. He wants to interbreed with something else. So the intelligent designer interrupts them, stops them from interbreeding. How? Don't say intelligent selection. Don't tell me what the natural mechanism of intelligent selection. Tell me what the natural mechanism is. How does it interrupt that?
Well, if you're going to talk about a sex reproduction system,
don't tell me what we're talking about. Tell me what the mechanism is. How does the intelligent designer do this? And don't tell me the number of books that you have that nobody's read. Tell me the mechanism how it does this.
Yeah, I told intelligent selection. They know what.
Okay.
They know their mate. They know their mate.
Guys, if I may.
They know their mate.
You know what the word means.
Excuse me. I need to. Okay. So we've been going in circles for the past 10 plus minutes. So
half an hour.
I think. Yeah. Okay, half an hour.
20, 30 minutes. If we did another 2 hours, we would still no questions answered. Except that he has admitted that natural selection does occur. He doesn't really understand that that's what he's saying. He has admitted that evolution happens. He just doesn't. He can't. He's not allowing that. That's what it
Okay.
is.
So
he wants to at all. What he's really is theistic evolution, but he doesn't even understand that.
No, I think there are more about that.
So I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to end the stream. So. Thank you very much, Aron Ra and Mr. Intelligent Design, for coming. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and thank you very much, Peter, for co-moderating with me. So,
you're welcome.
Bucket of chuckles, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you too. Okay.